Welcome to my art vlog series, a series in which I'm documenting my art process as it is every month. A lot of times on Instagram you see like the before and after within split seconds, and I wanted the series to be sort of like a more realistic representation of what the work of an artist looks like. My name is Jette, and as a disclaimer, I'm not like a full-time artist. I haven't studied art. I'm more like a kind of hobby artist turned art YouTuber, art content creator, if you will. And I'm on a journey to kind of develop my own artistic style. I'm also a media designer, so I do have like a kind of visual design-based career background, but I always had a passion for painting, and so within my work, I'm trying to combine art and design. There will be a lot of like rambling kind of scenes like this in this video, so like the exact opposite of what is trendy right now, like reels, TikToks, shorts. I'm a rebel, if you will. But yeah, if that sounds interesting, please subscribe. I've recently painted my first still life, like a very realistic sort of painting. I'm typically more doing abstracts, typography-based work. I like my art messages to be a little bit cheeky, even like ironic, sarcastic, funny. And so for my next still life, because whenever I do something extremely abstract, people like to comment that whatever I'm painting is trash. So I'm like, yeah, let me paint some trash. So I recently photographed this picture on the streets in Rome last summer, and I just found it very aesthetic and sort of like perfectly arranged. And so I'm painting that. I'm painting trash at the moment, and that's basically what I'm working on today. I'm practicing to paint plastic at the moment. I find the texture incredibly difficult to paint. I've just been working on this part, which I will leave to dry and continue working on it the next time because I'm using overlay paint in the next step. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna try to paint this plastic bag up here. Not sure if I will be able to finish it today, but we'll see. I have like an hour and 30 minutes left before I need to leave, so yeah, let's see how much I can get done. I'm honestly pretty surprised how quickly I was able to paint this plastic bag, considering that for the black trash bin, if you've seen my last episode, that took me 3 hours or so. It is a bigger surface, but I feel like I did a really good job, and I'm proud of myself that I can already see progress even after just painting a little bit of this still life. And I have all the smaller items to paint. I am trying to finish this month, so this February. We'll see how often I'm able to take some time to work on this, because I do have other things to take care of and like content and videos and stuff to shoot. So this is like sort of a like passion project I'm doing. It's about an hour later, and I was able to do a really good job, I think. So I'm just gonna call it a day now, and we'll be here another time, probably next week. I cannot tell you how nice it is to be working in the studio with sunlight after about 2 to 3 months of winter without daylight past 3 p.m. So Berlin winter is horrible.
What is also horrible are my brushes, because I seem to have done a really bad job at cleaning them the last time. So there still was a lot of oil paint in there that I forgot to clean. And yeah, that is a lesson learned. It wouldn't be the first time I ruined my brushes. Just done at the art store when my pottery teacher texted me and said that my pottery items were finished with glazing. I did a 8-week or 6-week, no, I believe it was 8-week pottery course. And I had the last session like 2 weeks ago, I think. And so they finally had my items finished. So I'm just gonna go there and pick them up. It's nearby my studio. So once I'm here, I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do another stop. And after that, I'll finally head over to the studio. It's already 12 now. And I have to hurry up because I have a meeting at 1. But yeah. Whew. I was just in a podcast recording where I talked with Amy. She's the founder of Art Night, and we talked about creativity. She interviewed me about like my journey and my job and what exactly it is, because people always tend to be curious about that. And right now I'm just gonna do a little bit more of painting. I'm just gonna paint this water bottle and maybe this one, and then after that I might start my next artwork, because like this is pretty much like a third finished, and I'm gonna be here for at least another month, and I would also like to work and get something else finished that doesn't take me 2 months to finish. So I'm gonna paint at least like a few items here before I'll start my next piece.
This is why you measure before you sketch, because everything is a little bit off center. So what I'm going to be doing is sketching it again with a different color, like a blue or something, so I can kind of see the different sketches when working on the typography. But this is why you measure. Don't be like me. In the end, it's going to take you twice as long. Yay for me.
So while I'm cleaning my paintbrushes, I wanted to explain my type artwork series a little bit to you guys, because if you don't know me or my work yet, that might be, maybe a bit confusing as to why I'm writing work of art on a canvas. So the messaging of my typography artwork series is a little bit cheeky, because I wanted to create something that is kind of addressing a lot of comments I often get whenever I do something abstract. Because I feel like for a lot of people, they have a certain understanding of art being something that is realistic, time-consuming and naturalistic, realistic. And whenever something looks relatively simply made, they struggle to basically accept its existence. So I do get a lot of critique comments saying this isn't art, this is ugly, why would you do something like that? And I'm always a bit confused myself when I read these comments, because as an artist, I don't know why, but whenever I'm with fellow artists, I have never heard any one of them say that to another artist. But when I'm speaking with non-artist people, this does come up a lot. And I find that interesting, that mostly, not always of course, but mostly people who don't paint themselves feel invited to share their opinion. And I don't even see the point of critiquing anybody else's work. I mean, if no one asks me to, I'm not going to give you my opinion. And with art, it's interesting because many people feel like they are invited to share whatever they think about a certain art piece without anyone ever asking. And with artist friends, it's always even though maybe I wouldn't put the art of my friend on my walls because it's just not the type of stuff that I'm into, I would never question whether what they make is art. And I feel with a lot of non-artist people, that would likely be the point where they start, is questioning whether what you do actually is art or isn't. So to me that's interesting. And so I like to trigger those people. And I do have a design background, so I'm a media designer and I love typography. So I'm always writing some sort of messaging about art on canvas. And the way I paint them is very, very designy and artsy, only working with two colors, high in color contrast. I put green with blue and pink with green and orange with pink. But what I'm actually able to achieve with sharing these is a discussion. And that to me is the interesting part about my art, that people discuss the messaging on it. Their reaction is kind of the point, right? Their comments about it, they kind of become part of the work because I can literally count on them. Choosing colors for the type artworks is actually pretty difficult because when the colors are this reduced to literally 2 shades, the slightest of nuance kind of changes the entire look. Also, against the green, the blue looks way more like reddish purple as opposed to if you were to look at it on a white background. If I was to first perfect the green, like put on like 3 or 4 layers of the green, and after do the letters, I might not even be happy anymore with the green. I don't want it to be too dark, so I'm gonna mix some sort of like lighter green into it so it gets more of a pop. I don't want it to be too dark. And after kind of having perfected the green, that is when I then go in and decide on what kind of shade of blue I like. But I always kind of start somewhere and put some color on there so I can then kind of like take the next step and perfect the color, if you know what I mean. I hope it makes sense, but that's kind of the process I'm going through with these type artworks. There is a total of 2 coats of paint on the canvas now, and the blue is of a much higher quality than the green. The green is extremely patchy. I don't know what is going on. I think it's like a older paint maybe. So I might just go to the art store and buy a better one and just rework with a different brand just to get it like done by the next layer. Otherwise I will be painting like 4 more layers of green. But yeah, I'm gonna have lunch now, but this is kind of how it looks now. I kind of left the studio yesterday without updating you guys, and I already put up the oil painting back here because, let me actually put this down. I was so unhappy yesterday with the coloring. It definitely needs yet another layer of paint, but I feel like I'm not gonna give up on the green too soon. It's almost empty. This is 500 ml and it's almost done. I am, however, going to be working on this another day, maybe next week, because today is for oil painting. And I also wanted to talk a little bit about the reason why I left the studio earlier, because sometimes I kind of let, mean people on the internet get to me, and a lot of my videos at the moment go viral, and so there are a lot of people who are just being mean, and usually it doesn't get to me. Especially being like online for over 11 years now, you kind of develop a hard shell. And so I was scrolling yesterday on Instagram, and I don't know why, but sometimes it gets to me. And I feel like I know like whatever they're writing, they do it because they're unhappy with themselves. Like I know that. Still, I feel like I'd rather have it get to me a little bit than not feel anything. Like personally, that would be more alarming than me kind of like feeling a little bit down. So yeah, I didn't really do anything else other than paint on this work because I just wasn't feeling like the need to be creative. Today's like a different story. I'm energized. It's sunshine outside. I'm very happy to be here today and to work and feeling inspired. But still, I kind of wanted to share that with you guys because it's okay when you kind of like feel uninspired because like something happens in your private life, and it's not that your work is bad. It's just like that day you don't have the creative energy to work, and that's okay. So it's about 3 hours that I have been painting on all of the items down here, and I'm leaving some of them empty to do details the next time I'm here, just because when working when working with very wet paint, at some point you won't get the color any lighter or any better. So I'm just gonna let the surface dry and then do the details next time. I'm gonna break for a little lunch and continue after.
It's February 28th and I'm getting quite far. Was planning or was hoping to finish a bit more this month and finish the whole painting this month, which I didn't. There is a very difficult plastic foil here, so I'm working with a glazing technique again that I applied here as well. But I'm not gonna do much more today. It's already 4 p.m. and I have to leave in an hour or two. So didn't manage to paint as much as I had hoped, but I'm still very happy with everything that I accomplished this month, and I'm trying to be also patient with myself and patient with my pace and just trusting the process however long it may take.